Alright, what's up, y'all? So, it's a Chronicles number 7, I think. And, yeah, I'm driving home from work. So, this is a topic that popped in my head while I was working that I want to talk about. And please excuse my my energy. It's like, as I do more six-day work weeks, I get more and more tired, which is crazy. I'm only doing it for 2 more weeks though. After these 2 weeks, then I go back to 5 days a week, which I need to go back to because this is terrible. Those of y'all who work in like 7 days a week are like, what are you talking about, man? But yeah, for this video, I want to talk about, you know, finding happiness or being happy, or finding ways to be happy while on this, you know, reset period, or whatever you want to call it, reset period, grind period, growth period, while you're growing, you know, growing in Christ, growing spiritually, physically, everything like that. All right. So, when you first start a journey, right, and you're like, you know, like, I have this goal, I want to do this, you know, you're growing, you have that motivation, right? You're growing in Christ, you have that motivation, you want to, give me a second, let me do this turn. It has motivation, has this drive. You're like, yeah, like you're going day by day, you know, you're retaining, you're praying, you're doing your fasting, you're doing all that stuff, right? And you're feeling good, right? But of course, while you're growing, there's going to be tests, right? There's going to be times where you're not feeling, you know, amped up. You're not feeling hype. You're not feeling, you know what I'm saying? So when that happens, man, you start to go through periods where you're not feeling patient, right? You want things to start happening a little faster because you're going through such a long period of just like struggles, pretty much. You start to, you know what I'm saying, you start to grow impatient and stuff like that, right? And this, I would say, is like more towards the beginning, middle of your journey, because as you go more and more in the growth, right, and you start leaning more towards God and, you know, everything like that, it starts to get easier, right? It starts to get easier because God starts pushing you through it and you start getting used to it, right? But in the beginning, middle stage, it's kind of tough, right? So what you need to do is just find that kind of joy in the journey, you know, joy in the growth, right? And this is something I need to do myself, right? I'm not saying like I'm perfect with this, right? I know that it's something that needs to be done, but I'm not perfect with it, you know what I'm saying? But how do you find joy in the growth, right? Number one is to think of the, let's see, better hurry up. One is to think of the results, right? Think of what's to come, right? And keep that in your mind. Keep thinking of what you want to achieve, right? And when you have times of like just being impatient and times you want to give up and stuff like that, or times you want to give in, or you get urges for something and then you get urged to sin, right? Think about what you're trying to achieve. And when you keep your mind focused on that, you know, that's going to keep you going. That's the first thing. Well, that should be number 2, really. Number 1 is to focus on God, right? Put that number 2. Number 1 is to focus on God, right? You focus on the Lord. You focus on pleasing the Lord for what the Lord has done for us, right? You want to please the Lord by doing what he wants us to do for our lives, you know what I'm saying? So that he can bless us with these things. You know what I'm saying? So when you put the Lord first and you follow things of the Spirit, you're naturally gonna be feeling good, right? Because you're not feeding your flesh with things of like lust and like what's the term I'm thinking of? What's the term, like overindulging in food, gluttony, like, you know, going in gluttony, you know, lying, worldly music, things like that. When you're not feeding your flesh this stuff, right, you're naturally going to be feeling good because you're following things of Christ, right? So when you focus on God first, right, you can naturally, over time, because it might take some time to get used to it, right, but as you stay disciplined and you stay consistent with it, over time you're gonna be feeling good from it, just from following that daily, right? Number 2, of course, I said was you know, think of the results, right? Number 3, right, you want to find a hobby, right? You want to find something that you'll enjoy doing, that's beneficial to your growth, you know, whether if it's like, if you're into like plants, right, planting things, or if you're into working out, like if you find joy in working out, you find joy in cooking, you find joy in, like, you know what I'm saying, things like that. If you have a business that you're trying to start,
approaching
right?
a railroad crossing.
Rude, trying to interrupt me. You find, like, you create a business and you find joy in that, you know, whatever the case may be, right? Finding joy in something in the growth process, right? That way, even though you may get to a point where you feel like, you know, it's taking forever, like, you know, things start seeming hard, you'll find joy in doing little things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. This is gonna be a short video, but those are 3 quick tips that were in my head while I was working out, what I talk about. You know, because going through this journey, it's gonna take, you know, it's gonna take discipline, it's gonna take, you know, consistency. It's not, I said in the previous video, it's not supposed to be easy, right? But as you stick with it, it's gonna get easier. It's gonna get easier because you're gonna feel good just following things of Christ. You're gonna feel good building a closer relationship with the Lord each day, you know. So let's stick with it. And plus, this the self-improvement in general, you're gonna feel good, you know, when you're working out. As you retain plus working out, the gains you get from the gym are gonna be way better, right? You're gonna feel good, you're gonna feel confident just doing that. When you're not, like, you know, indulging in things of the world and those things of the flesh, you're gonna feel clean, you're gonna feel good that way as well. So all these things gonna add up, you know. But with that being said, man, I will catch y'all next one. Your brother Aaron out. Peace.